This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Hello and welcome to this very, very special India Questions. I'm sitting with a man who I believe is the most loved human being on the earth today, loved all across the world. He's also a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Many years ago, I'm of course talking about the one and only His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. And we have students from all over the country, sir, from different colleges, come here to ask you questions. But let me start by just going back in time a little bit. Can you describe nearly 50 years ago your journey to India? What was it like?
Journey, beside sort of physical difficulties,
You were about
some very high sort of altitude mountains.
The Himalayas you had to cross.
But mentally, a lot of anxiety, and in some cases, a lot of fear.
Yes, you were in a lot of danger.
Right.
And you were young at that time, but you had to disguise yourself and come?
Oh yes, my age then, 24.
24.
Of the 17th March 1959.
Yes.
I left Nobulinga because there are many people supposed to protect the Dalai Lama. So each gate, many people there. So I have to disguise.
So these were the Chinese at the gates?
No, Tibetan.
Protecting you?
Yes.
And outside the gates were the Chinese?
The other side.
Other side.
The Chinese, of course. So one experience, usually I wear glass.
Right.
But since I disguise as one soldier, two officials in front of me, so I suppose bodyguard of that person.
I see.
So without my glass.
With no glasses?
And one rifle. The British rifle,
right,
quite heavy. So that without glass and long walk, that rifle become heavier. So,
and it was
so little sort of. I think the good opportunity, more exercise like that.
But it was dark. You didn't have your glasses. You were carrying. It must have been.
Oh yes. That night, you see, moon, I think half moon or something like that.
Right.
Already there. And unfortunately, no cloud. So that in a way, some help to see the road.
Right.
But in a way, it also, can see by Chinese, particularly when we, after passing the river,
Right.
From other side, the river,
right.
Although we what call without flash, complete dark, but what do you call the horse sort of?
Horses, yes. And it's too dangerous to use torches.
So you see the sound of the horses sort of walking.
Right.
Just the other side of the river, the Chinese military cantonment.
My God.
So we can see some Chinese soldier there. But then you see light, not very helpful.
Then you didn't want light.
Yes. If dark night, much better. So fortunately, or luckily, without any danger, then finally we reached some village. Then it's no longer sort of danger, immediate danger. So we spent about, I think, 3 hours or 2 or 3 hours, some sleep. Then again, further move, like that. Then the next morning, the last, pass from where now the last moment to see Potala.
Right.
And my horse turned towards Potala, and very heavy feeling.
Very heavy feeling, yes.
Some kind of final goodbye. So then do not know when it can again to see. I don't know. Now we wait almost half century.
Almost 50 years.
Like that. So most of these young Tibetan students, you born after that, isn't it?
Long after that. These are youngsters. If they had caught you then, the Chinese, while you were coming to India, what would they have done?
At immediate, I don't know, may not real risk of my life. But then soon or then, mid-60s, Cultural Revolution started.
Right.
Then there was real danger. I feel Panchen Lama survived during Cultural Revolution. I think maybe because we are here. Everyone.
Because you were here.
Everyone, you see, in their hand. Then during Cultural Revolution, there was real danger to eliminate all the figures.
They might have killed you at the Cultural Revolution.
Possible, very possible.
Tell me, you're a teacher, many think of you as God, but you say I'm a teacher, and what you teach is this, compassion. You say happiness comes through compassion, and all of us have to learn to be compassionate, warm-hearted, and not to think negative. Do you think negative? Do you think negative, for example, of the Han Chinese who dominate Tibet today? Do you feel negative?
No. That's we deliberately try to minimize negative feeling. Now, for example, these days, every my sort of meditation, morning meditation, I do the practice of take and give. Okay? Giving and taking. That means to visualize those Chinese brothers, sisters, out of their ignorance, out of their hatred, their fear, there's some kind of negative feeling. So take these negative feeling. And then, and including their fear, take. And then give them compassion, spirit of forgiveness. These is visualize, give them. So of course, this in practical level is nothing. Nothing changed. But at least you see my own emotional level. This kind of practice is immense benefit. Now last few days, almost I got the same experience. That was I got because I experienced in 1959 after 10th March. Next 1 week, lot of tension. One way, the Chinese military convoy every night movement, hundreds with artillery. The other side, is a Tibetan side, also is determined to resist. I was between. Nobody, both sides, no indication of listen. Then very much sort of tense. So since 10th March now, as soon as I heard some movement started in Lhasa. Then afternoon, I received one information. Now in Lhasa, a few hundred people now moving, demonstrations. Then a lot of lot of sort of worry, a lot of anxiety.
Out of tension.
But you see, as a result of these practice, in intellectual level, a lot of sort of doubts and sort of disturbances. But the deeper level, emotional level, because of these practice, I feel, is much less disturbance.
So you're saying that
so this
time
is very, very helpful.
Very
yes.
helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry. You were saying this time you felt tension like you did 50 years ago.
Yes.
For 50 years, you've not felt as tense as you do today.
Yes. Very serious. Very, very anxiety, much anxiety. And also is the feeling of helplessness. What to do?
They are youngsters. They want something. They've been waiting for so many years. You have said, I don't want independence for Tibet. Very clear. I want genuine autonomy. That's what you're asking for.
Yes.
And you say no violence. So the youngsters say that you're a little soft. Are you softer as you get older than when you were younger?
No, I don't think. I don't think.
You're always soft-hearted.
But other people should check. Should investigate, should analyze. I don't know.
How do you talk to a young man who says, don't compromise, don't be soft, be tough? How do you talk to that person?
I think too strong, too extreme. Now, main question is, these people, very critical to our approach. Then I usually use the answer or argue. Yes, you want independence. And then how to achieve? No clear answer.
No clear answer. Let's get some questions from these youngsters. Anybody got a question right now? This young lady here, you can just pass the mic. Yeah.
My name is Tenzin. I'm Tibetan, and I'm from Tibet. I first-hand witness to 1989 uprising, and
You witnessed?
first-hand witness to 1989
First-hand-
uprising that happened in Lhasa.
59.
No, 89.
89, yes.
89 in Lhasa. My parents still live in Lhasa, and recently the events that happened in Lhasa is very unfortunate. So I talk to my parents all the time. I listen from my mom every day that every single day in Tibet, people in Tibet, every single day hope and pray that His Holiness will return back one day. And I pray and bow my head, and I pray that one day he will go back to Lhasa and victory will be our own, and he will go back one day, and the sun will rise again in Tibet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We everybody determined. To me, as a Buddhist practitioner, there's no differences whether Han Chinese or Indian or Tibetan or European, no differences. My number one commitment is promotion of human value. On that level, no difference of color, right? No difference of nationality. And number two commitment, promotion of religious harmony. There are also, no differences. Now, third commitment, as a Tibetan, and particularly with the name of Dalai Lama, I have the moral responsibility about Tibet. So, I always, carrying these these commitments. And now almost 2 weeks, whatever way I can serve, whatever way is serving to Tibetan people, protect Tibetan people, I always do that. A Tibetan, inside Tibet, as well as outside, they trust me.
Love you.
They really they put a lot of hopes on me. So I have the moral responsibility. So don't worry. My side, I always determined to serve you and eventually return our own homeland. It's sad, Of course, very sad. Very sad.
Do you cry for Tibet?
Recent days, one occasion, yes, well.
You cried. After a long time?
Usually, my eye quite often used to become wet when I used to meditate compassion and altruism. Even in public, I often used to cry. Now, my old sort of, I'm a student or people who often used to attend my teaching, they know very well. I think practically every major teaching, one or two cries, one or two, a few times you see the tear come. I often used to happen.
I noticed.
But the
Sorry.
national interest about the Tibetan, Tibetan issue, regard to Tibetan issue, yes, this time feel very, very helpless and what to do. And then another sort of anxiety is, unfortunately, the Chinese sort of propaganda manipulate, now create a picture, now a whole Tibetan now against the Chinese. This is not true. Now they try to create a picture of racial racial sort of problem. Although this kind of racial sort of problem, before 1959, no such feeling. And even before 1950, there were a few Chinese shopkeepers in Lhasa. Usually, we very friendly.
No problem. No problem.
And then even after 50, up to 59, our complaint towards their bullish sort of attitude, we complain, but no feeling towards some kind of negative feeling towards Chinese, as Chinese.
Right.
After that, I noticed many Tibetans who come from Tibet, in a short period, now there are some sign of resentment towards some Chinese. This is terribly, this is really, really terrible. Whenever some Chinese want to see me, I always welcome them. I always show our sincerity. And their side also, most cases, Chinese who come from mainland China, whenever we met, most of them cry.
They cry when they meet you.
Yes, very devotion, very friendly, like that. So, in early, I think 90s, I had opportunity to visit Taiwan. The one reason my visit Taiwan is I want to show in the eyes of billions of Chinese, we are not anti-Chinese. We really respect them. We really admire their civilization, their rich cultural heritage. And after all, through centuries, they are our neighbor. And in the future also, we have to live side by side. So it is very, very important to develop spirit of friendship. This negative attitude is very, very bad, very, very unfortunate. Now, unfortunately, you see, Chinese propaganda, create that deliberately. That's very, very unfortunate.
So when you
so these children, these students, when in your sort of college or university, if you have some Chinese student there, then please make genuine friendship. That's very, very important.
Very important. When you left China in 1959, you said two things as a little young boy. You said, I can see my path to India will be safe. And you also said, I can see I will come back. Will you go back to Tibet before you die?
Yes, that we believe. That we still believe. That, after all, the obstacle is the political. And mainly, just negative emotion, if that clear, then
It could happen.
within few days
You will be back in
Can-
Lhasa and
can
Potala
decide.
Palace.
Can change.